going on, everybody? Today we're going to keep diving into the Pro Package numbers. Today we are going to talk about vertical swing plane. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, Scott Oden coming at you. We're in the studio going deeper into the Pro Package numbers. I know I've had a lot of questions about what does each of these numbers mean, so that's what we're going through and trying to show you what they mean. Also, how are they going to help you get better with your golf game. Before we do that, if you're interested in getting the Pro Package, or if you're interested in any of the other training aids or equipment I use, make sure you check out the links down in the description below. I list them all down there, and most of those links do help out the channel, so we would appreciate it if you use those. But otherwise, click that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber, and also check us out on Instagram. Make sure you head over there and follow us for some of these quick tips about how you're going to be using the device as we get using it. So let's get into vertical swing plane. So vertical swing plane, when you're looking at your Pro Package numbers, okay, on your tiles, what you're going to be looking at is this number that says V-plane. That is the numbers. All right, so what is vertical swing plane? Okay, so vertical swing plane is measuring essentially the inclination of the golf club from the ground, okay? So if my club was coming in, it was gonna be like this. This would be 0. If it was coming in and the shaft was straight up and down, that would be 90 degrees. So essentially it's kind of like looking at the lie angle of your club coming in. So it could be a useful number in fitting. However, one of the things I think you got to be a little bit careful of is a lot of times you want to work on your swing. If you go off of this vertical swing plane number, you might get some interesting reads when you're trying to fit your lie angle. However, it is going to be important for you to know what your lie angle is on your clubs, because that's going to help you make sense more of what that number is going to be, okay? So again, this is a number in degrees, inclined from the ground, okay? So what do I see people most of the time do? Well, most of the time people come in too high. Okay, so let me just show you an example as we go. My 7-iron is built at 61.5 degrees. I don't do any lie adjustments because technically I would need one that's more upright. I don't like doing that because that promotes hitting the ball left, so I just keep it where it is and I try to work on my swing. But that's just me. What we're gonna see as we go through here, and what I see a lot of people do, is they come in and we tend to see that shaft getting stood up more, and so that number's typically higher, okay? It can be from a variety of different reasons. You know, if somebody's coming over the top more and kind of coming down like this, that shaft's gonna be more vertical. If you're an early extender, you're coming in, you're giving yourself no room for that club to get to the ball, you gotta stand the shaft up to make room for that club to get through and hit the golf ball. So I'm gonna demonstrate one here, and let's see what we get as we go through, and I'm going to try to just hit one, okay? Okay, and that's my feeling of trying to maybe early extend a little bit as we go. See what we get for that number. So remember, my shaft is 61.5. Now that's not too bad, to be honest with you. At 62, I actually like that for a number. Now, it's not uncommon for it to come in a little bit vertical, because the way a golf club swings in, it's going to bend down, so that shaft kind of gets up just a little bit. But it's one of those things that I personally have been working on, because I tend to get that club to come in too high with the handle, and then that leads to me having some issues with how I'm going to strike that golf ball, okay? So here's another one. You can see that handle starts rising up a little bit, and then we've got some issues going on. What is the main issue that you're going to see when that handle starts to get high? Well, the big one is, as the handle goes up, the club head's going to move in. So you're going to get a lot of toe strikes if you are moving that handle up vertically, okay? You're also going to have a harder time controlling your club path and your club face. I tend to see a lot of people hit slices, golf shots out to the right for a right-handed player if they're getting that handle up high. People that are better at drawing the golf ball, you typically are going to see that vertical swing plane dropping lower, okay? So if you're somebody that's kind of over the top, this is a good number to start looking at, seeing if you can get that swing plane to come in lower. So I'm going to try to make one here. Let's see if I can get it to come in a little bit flatter as we go. I don't know if I did it on that one, but we'll see. That's why we have the numbers to tell us. Let's see, 62. So I did pretty good there. Again, 61.5, but it was still a little high, and I felt like I hit that one on the toe a little bit. So how am I going to get this number, and how do I keep getting this number lower? Well, what it ends up coming down to is you need space for the club to come in with that little bit flatter angle. So what do I try to do when I want to lower the number? I'm going to come back, okay? I'm going to keep my body away from the ball and really feel my hands working closer to my body. I don't want to shove them away from me and raise up the handle. If I can do that, we should see that number start to drop. Okay, that was a pretty exaggerated example of it. Didn't hit it terribly in doing it. But there you go. I see how I could really drop that number down as we were going through. So again, that's a very exaggerated example of it. But I'm going to make sure, essentially, if you are crowding into the golf ball, that handle is going to rise and that vertical swing plane is going to get up. So you got to start thinking about ways you can get that handle to be able to come into the ball lower. And essentially, it just comes down to, do you have enough room to be able to swing the club and get that club to come in on a good plane that makes a little bit more sense. Now, the longer the club you have, the flatter the lie angles tend to get. The shorter the club you have, the more vertical. So it would be helpful to take a look at your golf clubs. Just, you can search online, get the spec sheet, see what those lies are, maybe print it out and have it for reference. Again, you might come in a little high over those standard or whatever your static lie angle is, but just have it for a reference so you know where you're supposed to be and kind of be a little bit close to that, and you should be in pretty good shape. But again, the biggest issue you're going to see is you're going to have a lack of control for a righty. You tend to see the ball go off to the right, and you're going to see a lot more toe shots as you go, and you might even see a little bit of steepness and digging into the turf and stuff like that. So it's a good number to work on. I think it's a number a lot of people don't get, and they don't get correct at first. I know for me, first few days of hitting with the Pro Package, I was definitely high, and I've been working on it. So I was actually happy how I started this session here with it, but I'm going to keep working on it so I can get that number lower, okay? So if you have questions about vertical swing plane, please leave those comments down below. Again, go over to Instagram. We're going to have some more drills and things to kind of give you some quick hitters to check out, so make sure you do that and follow us over there. And again, if you want to purchase any of these things, any of the things we use here on the channel, I will link them down below. It does help out the channel, which we would appreciate, and it helps us be able to go do more stuff and research all this stuff for you. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.